Shalom. First off, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahakadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who have taught us His word and teach us His word today. I want to give a salutation unto the elect of the nation of Israel. This is the brother Yatazak Bob with the GMS Nebraska camp. This is GMS Endeavor. And in this lesson, I want to cover this article here from Connecting the Dots in Fin.tech, which is titled Mastercard to Phase Out 16-Digit Card Numbers by 2030. Now, this is another step in Esau's gradualism that will eventually lead to the MOTB, which I'm referring to the mark of the beast that's spoken of in Revelation 13. As let's read that real fast. We're going to go to Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. It says, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name." Now, this is speaking about the RFID chip. We see this within, Elon Musk's Neuralink, with him putting these brain chips in people, allowing paraplegics, to have movement, and allowing the blind to see, allowing those who can't talk to speak, these different things. And we also see, people in the world right now have RFID chips in their hands that they're able to, buy things at the store with this chip. They can open up their door with it, and these different things, and we're in early stages of it right now where people have it, but it's not commercialized, nor is it, being rolled out in mass or mandatory. And that is eventually where it's going to get. But Esau, like I mentioned before, he does things by gradualism, which is slowly but surely getting to the end of it, and so where you had at one point everyone was using cash, now cards came out and you can scan your card, insert your card to pay for things at the store, and eventually you can still use cash right now, but eventually cash is going to be completely phased out to where you ain't going to be able to use paper money at the store. Stores just won't accept it. We see that where stores aren't accepting $100 bills, $50 bills. We see that, they're trying to get rid of the penny, and it's small things, but that's how gradualism works. So let me take a drink of this water. It's small things. That's how gradualism works, to where you slowly, these things are falling in place that will eventually lead to the MOTB. Now, once cash is phased out, well, hey, that goes into this article. Now they want to phase out cards. So let's read. Let's look at this graphic here. It says Mastercard to phase out 16-digit card numbers by 2030. It says users will store their cards digitally linked to biometric authentication. Now, what that's saying is that, instead of going to the store, scanning your card, or inserting your card to pay for what you need to pay for, you will put your card information, have it linked to an account, and you will, use your fingerprint, or your handprint or your face, and store that and link it to that same account. So you will be able to go to the store and use your fingerprint to pay for something, and it's going to be as if you use your card, and it's going to be paid for. And so this is the next step in that gradualism, and this is so that, once the mark is actually here, and Esau, you have to use a chip to pay for things, and to get into places. Once that comes, people have gotten pretty used to something similar, you know. Now let's read on. It says no static card number to steal or misuse. Right. Esau is going to roll this out as if it's something that is to help, or keep things secure. It's for our own privacy, you know. And that's what Esau constantly does. That's why I grabbed this scripture here in 2 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And what Esau will do is try to, with his agenda, he makes it seem like it's something to help the people. It's for our benefit. We don't want your card to get stolen. We don't want someone to steal your information. So use this instead. And when the chip comes, there's going to be so many more angles um of making it seem as if it's something good for society, to where it will, to where Esau will make it seem like the chip is a good thing, where he's is going to be a thing to where, for example, with these immigrants, this illegal immigrant crisis, it can be a reason why Esau rolls out these chips. Why? Because everybody is going to have to be identified. You're going to have to make sure who's who. Are you supposed to be here? And get an ID on everybody. And so when he rolls this chip out for a reason like that, what can he say? It's for security. It's to make sure this person isn't in illegal, and it's these different things, to where really this MOTB is so that Esau can control the people, stamp people that they belong to him, that they aren't the Most High's, but they belong to him, just like you would stamp a. As a matter of fact, let's go to Revelation chapter 13 verse 16 again. Because what does it say? And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now, when we go to this word mark, it's the Greek word charagma. And it says a stamp, an imprinted mark of the mark stamped on the forehead of the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. Now, there isn't one specific Antichrist. Anyone who is against Yahweh Shai, against what the teachings of Yahweh Shai, what Yahweh Shai stands for, in any way, you are an Antichrist. So there are many, but Esau is an Antichrist himself. And with this mark, it's a stamp, an imprinted mark. It says the mark branded upon horses. Now, you have let's get an example of that. Let's just mark branded upon horses. Yeah, I guess I should have said on horses, but and we go to the images, boom, you have people who will place their mark upon a horse to basically show this horse belongs to me. See, with this, with the circle and the R, this basically, if someone sees that horse and they see the stamp there, who this horse belongs to, is basically showing this is my horse. Now with this chip, Esau is essentially doing the same exact thing, because when he stamps people with this chip, he is saying this person belongs to me, and so that is why we're not supposed to take the chip, because once you take Esau's mark, you are essentially pledging yourself unto him and not to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. That's why in Revelation chapter 14 it prophesies a great destruction, that against the people who take the chip, that they will be destroyed. They will taste death. And so let's go ahead and get back into this article here, and read this last little square. It says Mastercard has announced plans to phase out traditional 16-digit card numbers by 2030. This shift aims to reduce fraud, improve user experience, and align with the growing trend of tokenization and biometric authentication in payments. So it says Mastercard has announced plans to phase out 16-digit card numbers by 2030. We just read that. It says, why is Mastercard removing card numbers? Traditional card numbers printed on physical cards have long been a target for fraudsters. Whether through data breaches, skimming, or phishing attacks, stolen card details fuel billions of dollars in fraud losses annually. By removing the visible card number, MasterCard seeks to eliminate a critical vulnerability in the payment ecosystem. So it says, how will transactions work without a card number? It says, instead of a fixed 16-digit card number, MasterCard will implement tokenization, a process where a unique encrypted token replaces the actual card number. So it says, right, and within tokenization, you're basically, like I said, instead of having the actual number, you use something that is a substitute that is basically the number, but it's anonymous. It's, for example, I'm not sure if anybody watching as knows what I'm speaking about, but if you were to use your email to make an account for something, and it'll give you the option to use a fake email that's what your email will appear as. That's like a random set of letters, but it's your actual email just appearing as a substitute one so that no one can see your actual email, or so that your actual email can remain anonymous. That's basically what they're doing with these card numbers. So let's read on. It says no static card number to steal or misuse. Says each transaction will have a unique identifier, making fraud much harder. It says users will store their cards digitally, linked to biometric authentication, or fingerprint face recognition. So um, let's go down to what does this mean for the future. It says the physical card may become obsolete as mobile wallets and biometric authentication become the standard. It says data security will improve, making payments safer for consumers and businesses. It says digital first banking will accelerate, favoring smartphone based transactions over plastic cards. This shift marks a significant evolution in how we pay, shaping a more secure, seamless, and digital first future. And like I said before, this is all in Esau's next steps to his to his mark being rolled out. And we see all the pieces of his image being set up. We see AI is being financially poured into and set up at a greater rate than ever before. We see Elon Musk creating his robots, by the hundreds and by the thousands. Smart cities, where you have, for example, with these fires at the beginning of the year that were all in the news, where it came out that LA is planning to create a smart city by 2028, which is ironic that, or not ironic, but it's a strange coincidence that they want this smart city set up, and then all these fires start going on, and these fires are within where the fires happened, line up with the transportation system of the train, in California. Why is that? That's because where that destruction happened, they want to set up a smart city there. Same thing that happened with Maui. You just break it down, destroy the place, and then build it back up. It has to be built back up. Well, when you build it back up, just create a smart city, and then you don't even have to destroy other places. You can that will be the standard. That smart city will be the standard. Now you're creating smart cities everywhere else to keep up with that, to keep up with the LA smart city. If that makes sense. I hope this is edifying. But let's go back to Revelation chapter 13. Because when we go into when we go back into that Greek word charagma, and we go to the root, you know, it is karax, which is a pale or stake, a palisade, right? And this is speaking of the tool at which, you know, the chip will be inserted in people, that needle, because when you look at a palisade or a stake, it's a sharp wooden tool, or not a sharp wooden tool, but a sharp, pole of wood. And when you look at that right next to the tool that's used to insert the mark, it looks exactly the same. Now what I came back here was specifically for this next root word, which is grapho, which when you get into that, it says to write with reference to the form of the letters, to delineate or form letters on a tablet, parchment, paper, or other material, to write with reference to the contents of the writing. Um, let's read this one: to write to one, i.e., by writing in a written epistle, to give information, directions, to fill with writing. Now, what's this speaking about? What's this grapho? Why is this a root to charagma and karax, things that are speaking about the chip? Well, grapho, this is the information that will be on the chip, because right now Mastercard is just saying, hey, we want to use biometrics as, to store, your card information, but eventually it's going to be the chip that's being, that's filled with your payment information. But once the chip comes out, it's going to be more than just your card information. It's going to be your social security number, your passport, any type of ID you have, and we already know that Esau is speaking about these digital IDs coming out. Well, eventually all these things is going to lead to the chip, and that's so that Esau has control over the people. We see all these all these mass layoffs. A lot of people are losing their jobs, and with these robots and AI, eventually, more people are going to lose their jobs to these robots, to AI. Now, when everyone loses their jobs, Elon Musk said it himself. What are people going to have when everyone's losing their jobs? No one's going to be working, but they're going to offer a universal basic income to people who lose their jobs. What is a universal basic income? That's where every week or every month you get a sum of money that will replace the paychecks that you would have been getting if you were employed. Now they're going to make it to where, to receive this UBI, you're going to need to have that chip, and they're going to put that money on your chip. You got to get that to get that money, though. And that's what Esau is going to do to make it to where, you got to get it, because we know in the scriptures, hey, we're not supposed to get this chip. We know that destruction is going to come upon those that get it. And we know there's going to be a victory unto those who don't receive the chip. That as it says in Revelation chapter 15, there's going to be a victory to those who don't get it. But Esau is going to make life very difficult for those who don't get it. So that's why it's going to be a struggle. Because as you read in Revelation chapter 15, verse 2, it says, and as I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire. That's when America is destroyed, and that's the elect looking down upon America from the chariots that they receive salvation from, seeing this the land of America just destroyed and, on fire. It says, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast and over his image and over his mark and over the number of his name stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of the Most High. So it's a victory that you will receive for not taking it, but it's going to be a very hard thing once it comes out, because Esau is going to make it to where you won't be able to receive money unless you have it. You won't be able to buy or sell unless you have it. So you're not going to be able to go to the store and get the things that you need. You're not going to be able to enter into certain places unless you have it. And he's basically going to make it to where um, every facet of your life has to do with that chip, and he's going to close off everything to where you're going to have to go, you're going to have to be completely ostracized from society. You're going to have to go off the grid to even be away from the chip, if that makes sense. So we see these things, developing. We see everything moving in the direction of this chip, with right here, with Mastercard, Slovakia, with Mastercard phasing out cards. We see, you know, we see it, man. We see Esau riling up to really push this thing. And hey, in this article, it says that they want to do this by 2030, but it could come earlier than that. As the scriptures say, in Matthew chapter 24, the days will be shortened for the elect's sake. Time is moving faster. These prophecies are going to come to fast, Pastor. So like these prophecies are going to come to pass faster. And we're Esau has his plans on when he wants to do certain things, but if the Lord wants him to move faster, that's what he's gonna do. And hey, ain't no, hey, salvation is gonna come within this generation. We're going to see these final prophecies come to pass very soon. We only got a couple more years left here at max. There's this chip is coming soon. And the destruction of America, Yahweh's return is coming very soon. And with Esau, pushing his mark, pushing his image upon us, we're going to have to be tuned up spiritually, and our faith is going to have to be strong. Our walk with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, we're going to have to be tightened up to resist what's coming, and be on point, basically, because this is going to be a very hard time that we're walking into. So that's all I wanted to bring out with this lesson. Hopefully it was edifying. I know I was all over the place, but I pray that it was edifying. And once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahar Charkadash. I want to give them honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who have taught us this word, teach us this word today, and a salutation unto the elect. Shalom.